I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBN, we're stepping into a world where forgotten history, hidden legacies, and modern innovation collide. We're talking about a terrific book, part of a series. It is called The Lost City of Harlequin Springs. It is written by a terrific author, one of my favorite guests. Her name is Patricia Punch Barrett. And in the book, she takes us deep into a captivating tale of resilience, community, and the fight to preserve the past while embracing the future. From revolutionary outposts to lost scientific hubs, this is a journey of discovery, intrigue, and the enduring human spirit that refuses to be erased. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her on TV today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Patricia, thanks for joining me. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Logan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here. This is a wonderful book. It's a sequel. Tell the folks first about the series, the Pantera Chronicles.
Mhm. Well, the original book was entitled The Pantera Chronicles, and it's about a group of friends. Some of them are related, some not biologically, but the inception of the story starts in Australia, and they migrate to the Mojave Desert. And part of the reason is because they're the super tramps, and that's a moniker for um, trampoline artists. They're aerialists, trampoline artists, and stunt doubles, circus performers, ardent environment. They're an amazing group of friends. And here in the Las Vegas Bowl, um, they they work in the movie industry because of their exposure as stunt doubles. They have friends in the industry and everything, and they they decide to go on a destination picnic to Ash Meadows, Devil's Hole, and in Death Valley. And the reason for this is because they're imploding the Tropicana Hotel. And at the same time, as I mentioned before, they're ardent environmentalists and they have an interest in these pupfish that live in a subterranean lake, an aquifer. And at one point, their numbers had dwindled to 36 because a miner and a developer came in and decided to put up a development right next to the National Wildlife Refuge and drained the aquifer. But they managed to save the pupfish, and they even installed over 100,000 gallon tank to bring back the species. And so anyway, the Supertramps had discovered a map in in like an antique store that they were exploring for props for their indie productions and their documentary filmmaking. And it looked kind of like it had a strong correlation to Devil's Hole. So they thought, well, we'll go on this picnic and we'll visit the pupfish, see how they're doing, and we'll also look for mob treasure along the way. So anyway, I won't tell the whole story there, but afterwards they decide to go to Harlequin Springs
Mm.
because their grandfather had the circus, the traveling circus, and had brought it to the Americas and to the Las Vegas Strip. He needed a place for the retired show animals, and the animals in the circus he actually won the Panterra Star Rancho in a card game, and then it expanded from there. And they purchased the ghost town of Harlequin Springs so that the animals and the people that worked on the Las Vegas Strip would have a reliable source of water. So Harlequin Springs is on the way back to the Pantera Star Rancho. So the Supertramps stop there and they're going to meet one of their actor friends there, which is a lot of fun. And actually, there are innumerable ghost towns in Nevada, many of which are used in the movies because of the beautiful terrain and spectacular sunsets and everything. So again, we have more adventures in Harlequin Springs, and they're reminded of this legend that surrounds the lost city of Harlequin Springs. And they get to thinking about it. Well, you know, uh, maybe we should look in the drainage system underneath the old Mob Star Grand Marquis Hotel and Resort, which is this Gothic, derelict old hotel on the Pantera Star Rancho property. And well, the mobsters went to jail, we know that, but a magician continued to live there. And he made modifications to the property, trap doors, false walls, uh, chambers, subterranean chambers, and everything. And equally, there is a drainage system of tunnels and uh, also mining tunnels. So the super tramps go exploring at the old Mob Star Grand Marquis Hotel and Resort, which is this is where the real adventure begins because they open doorways not only to all kinds of fascinating twists and turns in the story, but portals to other dimensions.
Very cool.
So it's a wonderful adventure,
Yeah.
and it's not heavy.
Hmm.
It's a lot of fun, and I know that the readers would enjoy finding out more about the Supertramps and that not only their adventures in this book, but they can look forward to more in the next story.
Awesome. So there's a book three coming, I'd imagine.
Oh,
That means,
yes. Hmm.
okay. And
Yeah.
what's the working title of that right now?
Ventaloa.
Okay, great. And
Uh-huh.
is that another lost city or lost dimension or
No,
something like
no,
that?
actually, it takes place um, i- i- in in the ocean. So
Cool.
that's I'm not going to
Very nice.
divulge the
Oh,
plot.
that's great. That's a good teaser to set up that it takes place in the ocean. That's wonderful. Is it written yet, or is it up here? Is
Oh
it on the
yeah,
paper?
no,
Oh, it's all
it's
written?
already the manuscript, the rough draft is done. And we were actually in launch mode
Mm,
at Atticus Publishers for
mhm.
this book. And I just uh, got into it
Yeah.
and roughed it out, and there could be many alterations and changes, and you know, so
Yeah.
we'll just see what finally evolves.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. That sounds wonderful. You've created such a unique world within the pages of these books. What inspires that to come up with these super tramps and these different dimensions and so forth?
Well, you know what? It's a little bizarre. Um, even this morning, or maybe it was yesterday morning, I read about a tunnel from Chateau Marmont, which
Mhm.
is a hotel on Sunset Strip, leading to possibly another street um,
Hmm.
behind the hotel where people, celebrities particularly, could escape and not be seen entering or leaving.
Hmm.
So anytime, it's remarkable the way these things come up after I've written the story. And
Yeah.
there are elements of Venaloa where I thought I was being very original, very creative. And the next day in mainstream news, CBS, in fact, there's a story. I'm like, oh, wow. So, it's kind of like a little bit, you know, freaky
Yeah.
when when the news is right there supporting your storyline.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I guess truth is stranger than fiction. I guess
Yes,
that's
it
the bottom
is.
of line. And anything you can imagine could be possible. And that's another part of it, which is makes the book very real, very magical, and very, very enticing, no doubt. Of course, you've envisioned this as a series of films, I'd have to say, right?
Well, yes, it does lend itself to cinematic
Mm,
interpretations, and that's the beauty of it. Because with a wonderful group of explorers, adventurers, environmentalists, but not too heavy. I mean, where they're not pounding it. It's just they rescued wildlife in Australia, and in this story about Harlequin Springs they had met up again for a film shoot. And
mhm.
within months, the wildfires in California started.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, they hung it up on their independent filmmaking and documentary filmmaking to assist with the refugees from the wildfires.
Mm,
Because, Devil's Hole and uh, uh, Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge and the Death Valley National Park. Those are shared by Nevada and California. So after this exodus of people that had lost everything, I mean, they not only lost their homes, but in many instances, they lost their livelihood, they lost pets, they lost everything, and they had to have somewhere to stay. So in this story, one of the characters, Duke, who's a successful actor, but he's a former firefighter, just like Bashimi. And so he helps by getting some of these refugees to Harlequin Springs. And of course, everybody that lives in this ghost town, which is not very many, um, they pitch in to make people comfortable, make them feel welcome. And and in the process, the town of Harlequin Springs is like reinvigorated and reawakened because everybody bonds together and does what they can because we're all in this together. This could happen
exactly.
to anyone.
Yeah.
And you have the greatest empathy for people whose bewildering world has just been transformed and they never saw it coming. I mean, like one week they're getting ready for Christmas and New Year's, chauffeuring their kids around, and the next week it's all gone, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So the Super Tramps, again, they are volunteers in wildlife search and rescue, disaster relief, volunteer firefighters, and they load up all of their stuff from the Panterra Star Rancho, which after the heyday of the traveling circus, it was transformed into a wildlife sanctuary on one side, and on the other side, they use it for special events.
Mm,
So they have all kinds of food supplies and things to assist with this disaster. And they
mm,
load up their vehicles and they head for Harlequin Springs to help out the people that they've brought from the disaster zones with the wildfires in California. And so it's really neat the way the
yeah.
story evolves. And I don't want to give away some of the best parts of the story, but it's magic.
It
And
is.
people form bonds that will live on well beyond the point where people find the sustenance, the resilience
Mhm.
to restart their lives, but they will always be bonded to Harlequin Springs. So it's really, I think it's an enjoyable and gratifying story, not just about the resilience of individuals, but about the resilience of a
Mhm.
town that was practically lost
Yeah.
because it was a ghost town, but now it has new life.
Awesome. Awesome. You have done a wonderful job at world building here. You have immersed the reader in wonderful, magical places. And this book is a terrific continuation of a series. The book we're focusing on today is called The Lost City of Harlequin Springs, Book 2 of the Pantara Chronicles. Book 1 of the Pantara Chronicles is called The Pantara Chronicles,
Right.
and it's highly recommended as well. Book 3 is coming. Looking forward to that. It's an oceanic adventure, and we can't wait to explore there as well. This book, too, that we've been talking about today is a
Mhm.
thrilling journey through mystery, history, and the spirit of survival. Patricia, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much, Logan Crawford. It's always a pleasure. I've really enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
I enjoyed our time together as well. I appreciate your insight, your wisdom, and your wonderful creativity. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.